Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Reaper, and today I'll be showing you my favorite perks that killers absolutely hate. Trust me, they won't have any more fun once these are added to your playstyle. I can't promise you'll be any good with these playstyles, and if you're not, that's okay. It's probably because you suck at the game. And if you like the sound of that, let's get right into it. First, I'd like to go with two of the best exhaustion perks. Lithe, which belongs to Fangman, and Sprint Burst, which is Meg Thomas. Side note, these perks work differently. Both of these perks are, on their own, are already really annoying, but if you really want to get under their skin and have them clench their mouse or controller, then I'd also pair either with Vigil, which is from Quentin as an exhaustion perk, are already a problem for killers, but pair them with this and you'll be the fastest teammate who always gets away, at least from Chase. And there's no counterplay to this. Just time your rest times and walk around pallets and corners if you're lucky. The killer would just straight up say, "Fuck no, I'm going out to get milk." Now there's two more perk slots that you can pair with virtually anything. If you're running a flashlight build, you could run Built to Last and Champion of Light. I'll explain these perks as they go. Let's say you've gotten a gen done with a good old toolbox, but the darn thing is grayer than a well-done steak. You guys are weird for eating those. Run into a locker for 10 seconds, your item is as good as new. Shit, use it for any item. However, it doesn't fully restore the next couple times, so be careful. You can use it for virtually anything: flashlight, med kit, toolbox. You can even use it for the fog vials too. Champion of Light. You move 50% faster when using a flashlight, but that's not the good part. When you activate a successful blind on the killer, they get hindered for 20% for 6 seconds. Which means if you're not even good at blinding, if you get a stun, it's a guaranteed blind, and you're already at the edge of the map, and they're still at the start. It's extremely overpowered. Now, if you're not very good at blinding, you could switch those two other perk slots for looping builds. Two I'd recommend is Finesse. Adding Finesse only works if you aren't injured, but you vault windows 20% faster and pallets faster. Which means if you time it right, a killer won't hit you through it. And this also pairs well with Windows Opportunity. Come on, I think we all know what this does. Experienced people will let me know in the comments. Windows will let you see nearby pallets and windows, and they're highlighted in a yellow aura with a 32-meter range, which definitely helps pair with Finesse. And if you want to loop better, pair this with Lithe instead of Sprint Burst, and you'll be looping forever. Even if you're injured, you can still use Haste. Now, I know there are other perks out there I may have missed, but for me, these are my top favorites that I personally use and have helped me get better at the game. And maybe in a future video, I'll go over how I got better and when I started playing things. I've learned perks that I personally don't see a point of using in match, and if you guys are open to seeing a video on that, then just let me know. I'll definitely make a video on killers for next time. Now, if you want to be a huge troll, there's another build that'll make the killer never want to pick you up. However, there are some drawbacks to this build, and I'll go over them as I continue. This build is called the anti-pickup build, but I'll call it the middle finger of Dead by Daylight. Power Struggle. While being carried by the killer, reaching 25% wiggle progress activates Power Struggle. While Power Struggle is active, you can drop a nearby pallet standing to stun the killer, which is compatible with Flip Flop. Recovery in the dying state also charges the wiggle meter at 50%. And up to maximum of 50% of wiggle progression, which is where the next perk comes in, Unbreakable. Must I really say more about this? It just helps you recover faster when you're down. But I bet you're thinking, that's not enough time for the killer to wait for me to stun him. And that's where the next one comes in, Plot Twist. Plot Twist activates when you are injured. Press the Ability to button while crouched and motionless to enter the dying state silently. When using Plot Twist to enter the dying state, you leave no blood pools and you make no sound, and you can fully recover from the dying state. When you do recover by yourself using Plot Twist, you are healed instantly and you gain a 50% haste for 4 seconds. This perk deactivates if you recover by yourself by any means. This perk reactivates when the exit gates are powered, so to make this build work is to get hit by the killer, Plot Twist several meters away in front of the killer so they see you, then recover on a pallet that's laying up. And whenever they pick you up, you press the stun button and it slams the pallet down while they're carrying you, allowing you for an easiest escape and a really pissed off killer. This build, like I said, is the middle finger of Dead by Daylight. Once you use this on them, if they are smart, they'll leave you alone. And if they do leave you alone, you can just recover and be at full health and run away anyway. However, the drawback is that if they don't pick you up at all and you can't recover yet, then you bleed out. So always use this build wisely. I don't personally use this one very often, only if I'm really extremely bored. And there's some counterplay to this, so unless your killer is very aware on how builds work and how they line up with each other, I wouldn't use it. And after using this in a couple matches, I can see why it's not popular anymore, because killers have learned this meta. And also, if everyone used this, the killer would just not pick up people, and it would end in a very, very boring end game. So, yeah, this build's not very practical. Practical builds really depend on the person you're playing as. If you want to be team support, you be a Gen Rush build or a heal build. And there's other people that like to run other builds that include looping builds, which is where I usually sit at, which is the first one that I showed you. This build's just to goof around and mess with the killer and piss him off, which is fun. Not gonna lie. It's kind of what I live for when I play Dead by Daylight. Let me know what other content you want to see. I've thought about doing Minecraft challenges and collaborations with other friends, which names will remain listless. I also play Apex. I also played State of Decay, Fallout. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked it. And if you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.